Hey everybody, and welcome to another full Nova Zero daily play. And today we'll be playing. Should probably get back in my game here. We'll be playing a little bit of Torchlight II, just as we did in the team play video from yesterday with Misa. And of course, Misa has to message me right on, right on here. So. Yeah, I'll be playing a new character actually from last night because I re-rolled on a on veteran difficulty with the what is the name of the class I'm playing again? My Outlander. Just because I wasn't really feeling it too much on the what was I playing? Engineer. I was like playing with mallets and stuff, and I don't, for whatever reason, I just wasn't really into it. But Outlander seemed to be more my style, and I kind of like that. So we'll get into the game here, and we'll just be doing kind of general like daily play kind of stuff, not really anything too crazy, I guess. This game is really good, though. I do think that this has a little bit of an advantage over Diablo 3, not just because of the price tag, but a lot of it it has to do with just how much content appears to be available compared to the first game, which was really just a Diablo 1 type of game where you went through each level one by one, and each level kind of had its own, it had its own style. I think every 3 levels would have a different style or something like that, but it kind of felt the same for the most part through most of the game, so I didn't really feel like it was that interesting. Other than I love the game, but it wasn't like the most interesting game in the world as far as like how much it tried to. I mean, not even sure what I'm trying to say in this case, because I really did like Torchlight quite a bit. I don't know. This game so far, it's been like green pastures and then a couple of different dungeons. I don't know if it's gonna be like super varied either, and as far as like its settings and the enemy types and stuff, but I'd be a little surprised if it was. I'm not even sure if I'm in the right area because it seems like these guys are way low level for me. Right now I've got a shotgun actually, which I kind of think is pretty awesome. It's actually, I was going to say, before I had a vampiric shotgun, which apparently stole life from people, and that was pretty cool. But now I have just a regular shotgun, I guess. That's not quite as interesting. Just like in the old school Diablo, we have the overlay map, but considering that you otherwise get like this really gigantic looking compass up at the top, it doesn't really seem that useful. I kind of would like a little more of a large map, I guess, but it's okay.
You a new recruit?
Yeah, I'm a new recruit. You level up so fast in this game that I'm just constantly forgetting about all these skill points that I need to spend, and so it looks like I have like 6 skill points already, which is crazy. Oh, you guys can't actually see that on your screen there. On the loading screen, it does tell you how many skill points it is that you need to spend, which I think is kind of cool. I don't have any character stat points to spend, but I do have these. Okay. So Rune Vault. You vault swiftly backward, away from your target. This vault leaves behind a mystical sigil that damages and blinds foes in a 4-meter radius. Okay. I kind of want these cursed daggers. They look pretty cool. Fling 9 piercing daggers in a wide arc. That just sounds awesome. But I do like this rapid fire one. I probably will Oh, and I was able to get it past the first tier here, which is nice. Tier 1 bonus. I guess you have different tiers of skills, which is an interesting way of looking at skill leveling. So this one, after you get the first tier, you get a bonus. Errant shots are added every other shot. I'm not really sure what errant shots are, other than... I'm not really sure, actually, what that's supposed to mean. We have another one here, Shotgun Mastery, which is actually what I'm using right now. I already sank a couple into Long Range Mastery, and I think that's probably what I'm going to stick with. Yeah, I mean, Shotgun Mastery does seem pretty cool, but Akimbo, interesting. But I actually like using like a long range bow or a rifle or something. So I'm kind of having fun with the shotgun right now, but ultimately I don't really want to keep using it. So I think I'll just sink. Oh, I can't actually sink anymore into here. I'll sink a couple in the long range, and we'll just hope that I find another thing pretty soon. And then I'll keep a couple that are unspent. And I think the thing I'm noticing already with this game is that it's got a similarity to Diablo II, in that you don't actually want to spend your skill points right away. And that, I'm not really sure how I feel about that right now, because that was one of the things I did not like in Diablo 3. Or I'm sorry, not Diablo 3, but Diablo 2. It just never really made any sense to me. Oh, interesting. It never made much sense, because it was like, okay, I'm playing the game, I'm leveling up, but at the same time I'm not actually leveling up any of my skills. It's those early stages that really kind of get me excited for a game at first. You know, almost sorry to say, but I actually enjoy the lower levels of a game. And the higher levels are really, you know, that's where more of the action, more of the strategic part of the game starts, and you know, it gets a little more interesting. But those low levels, you know, they're just fun. That's really all there is to it. And it's sad to see that a lot of times lower levels are just not really taken seriously at all. And I really think that's where you really engage players and you really get them like hooked into your game. If you have a really awesome low level part of the game. I think the mid level area, that's usually where people are sort of invested. You don't want to lose them. You definitely don't want to lose them. I'm playing with one hand right now. I mean, this is really a two-button focused game, like any of these sort of games, but I did feel like in Diablo I usually had to have my hand on the keyboard. Now I know I'm going to have to, well, you know, honestly with this mouse, I could probably map my 1 and 2 over to, like, you know, my side buttons, and then I wouldn't really have to touch the keyboard very often. Promise I'm not doing anything nefarious when I'm only using one hand. You guys know what I'm talking about. I think we can, agree that these guys are kind of pushovers. One thing I've been wondering, you know, if I could just kind of get off the game for a moment here, since not really too much is happening. I've been wondering if the daily play format is working out for anybody. You know, it's not like we have a ton of views or anything right now, but I have been wondering if I should stick with it, just because, you know, I like the idea of doing like different games. That's just sort of how I am. I like trying different games all the time. And I just honestly don't have enough time to do like you know, several dedicated shows or anything like that. I just can't dedicate as much time to playing all this stuff as like a total biscuit. One of the other guys I'm liking right now, Northern Lion, is doing an excellent job at the whole Let's Play style of video. For me, I think I just like playing a different game very often. Very much just somebody who likes to keep trying new things and always looking out for a new game. But that, you know, it's just sort of like who I am, I guess. Anyway, that's sort of off topic. I think we could probably figure out another show to do that's a little more consistent than what this is. Okay, I'm really hoping I can find like a side mission here or something soon, because the side missions are actually really fun. They're just these little, you know, these like real small distractions. And you'll usually get like a portal or something, and you'll go into like a little mini level. All right, what is going on? Why are these guys coming up so often? Okay, now I kind of realize that second tier for this skill is actually pretty cool. So there's like there's a second after every shot. I got a little loot from that, by the way.
I can't carry it.
So after every single shot, there's like 2 shots that come out. And it's like, I don't know, it's almost like it's got like this fireworks look to it. I guess there is 2 shots that are coming out, but one is kind of like goes off in the distance. It's a little bit off.
I can't carry it.
So let's do a little pet run. I'm just gonna get rid of these commons. Don't really need them. You know, and honestly, if I don't want to look into it much, I'll usually just get rid of all the stuff I know I'm not going to use, and then I'll you know, just make sure I don't get rid of anything that looks special, and then I'll look into it later. Like right now, I don't really want to look into most of this stuff, so I'm just getting rid of all the stuff I know I'm not going to use. And then something I've noticed is, or something we mentioned yesterday, was that there's a shopping list in this game, which is extremely useful. And what I can use that for is like getting identify scrolls while I'm away, more mana, and more health potions. I did that backwards, but I really like that just because now I literally have no reason to go to town while I'm questing. I'm sure there's some reasons, but it's just it's cool though. I like the idea of, like, I don't have to waste a bunch of time. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. I don't have to waste a bunch of time though going back to the town and then coming back and then going, you know, portaling again and then coming back. You know, the first Torchlight, I felt like did a really good job on that. And you had a pet and you could sell stuff, but you still had to go back every once in a while because it's like you just can't sustain your health without guzzling down potions all the time. So you're constantly going back to the town to get like a bunch of really good health potions and mana potions. Oh, I see, I had to do that. Okay. Get rid of these guys like crawling on the ground. But I like that idea, I really do. So this game, adding in that shopping list basically negates the whole town portal, except for, you know, the rare occasion that you have something back in the town that you want to do. Maybe party up with other players or whatever. The dog generally, or whatever pet you have, generally isn't around or isn't gone for very long. I think, you know, the maximum was right there. That was like 1 minute, and that went by like so fast. It was just nothing. I like the idea of making time like a resource in games sometimes, as long as you're not Zynga, I guess. But I really like that idea just because, you know, time is kind of valuable in any game you're playing. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I just died. I'm not even paying attention. I'll just go back to the entrance, I guess. But time is definitely like a big deal. Like, this game really takes time seriously, right? So you have the choice of paying a bunch of money and spawning where you were, or you could spawn back to the entrance for a little less money, or you could spawn back to the town. And it's like, I'm spending less money, but I'm spending more time. And it's treating time like its own resource, basically. I like that. Which is funny to say because this game is just so time intense in the first place. 1 minute barely feels like anything in the grand scheme of things. You know, waiting for your dog to go back and sell all your stuff. I think something's slowing me down. I always forget about the shift key. Yeah, I've got both hands back on the keyboard now. Yeah, some pro tip, I guess, is hold down shift key and you can just fire around like that, which is going to come in useful for me later. And that's because I'm probably going to switch over to long range weapons. I just found a really good shotgun. I decided to, you know, get some use out of it for now while I still can. It's actually kind of fun to use. I like just that, you know, it's still fast, but it's a little dispersed out, and it does such a wide arc of damage that that you usually can get like 2 or 3 zombies in on every shot. I think I had an urn that he dropped, but it didn't seem to have anything. And yeah, I got my rapid fire skill. Always forgetting about that. I like these shields these guys carry because it's kind of an interesting dynamic. You have to shatter the shield before you can do any sort of damage. I can tell that's going to come in a little more painfully later in the game, because that seems like a really good mechanic to kind of build off of. You know, sure, I'm fighting these zombies with like these really weak-ass shields right now, but later in the game there's probably going to be enemies who have really good shields that I'm going to have to figure out how to break through before I can do some damage. Or not, you know, maybe they haven't thought it through that much, but it seems like a good opportunity for a really good game mechanic. Good games, really good games, any good game, introduces the game mechanics very early on and then builds on them through the game. Like, even if you're doing the exact same mechanic through the entire game, what's really useful... Oh, I got something orange. What's really useful is to figure out what it is that's, that can be changed up while still basically doing the same gameplay. Like, I'm definitely... You know, the shields themselves right now are kind of a different concept. But it's still using all the core gameplay. It's not like I have to press a special key or something to get rid of it. All I have to do is basically just keep fighting it, but then keep in mind that, you know, there's this shield I gotta break through first. When I was playing Darksiders 2 some weeks ago, I felt like it did a pretty good job of that. Like, it always introduced these new game mechanics pretty early on in the experience. And then later levels would build upon that. We get more and more complex puzzles using things that didn't even seem like they'd be in puzzles from earlier in the game. You know, they introduced some wall running mechanic that I hadn't seen before, and they do it a couple times, and it's not really a big deal. But I'm used to it, and I like it. And then, you know, before I know it, a couple levels down, I'm, you know, I got to figure out, like, oh, I got to time it right now when I'm jumping from one wall to the other. The stakes are not, you know, the stakes are much higher then too, and it's like something I'm already familiar with. It's nice because it rewards players who are, you know, they're paying attention, and it rewards players who are attentive, I guess, to the game. But it also feels a bit natural since you've done it several times. And if you can introduce, you know, most parts of the gameplay within the first hour or so of the game, and then, you know, get back to those gameplay elements, you know, keep revisiting them often, but get back to them in a big way later in the game, I feel like that's a really good way of designing your levels. Oh, this guy, he teleports. I do not like this. Okay, that's funny because I feel like the best way to get away from him is just to keep moving back a little bit.
My mana's low.
And that leveled me up. Yeah, something we talked about last night, and I will definitely reiterate this because I think it's very important, but the idea of automatically picking up loot it's still pretty modern, actually. To be quite honest with you guys, I'm almost still not used to it because it keeps coming up for me. But, you know, like just running over gold, and, or if we're talking about a game like Borderlands 2 that I've been playing lately, I love the idea that all I have to do is walk over it, and then, oh, look at this. It's a secret room, I found one, sweet. I love that idea, though, of walking over it, and it's like I already have it. I was standing in fire there, that wasn't so smart. Yeah, these secret rooms, you really want to be a lucky die. You want to be very liberal about looking around in this game because there's a lot of nooks and crannies that are not on your map. The game definitely does not try to coddle you into figuring out where everything is. It's much more like, you know, old school N64 games where the developers thought it would be really, you know, funny to hide, you know, the best gear in the game, like in a little nook in the wall or something like that. Not sure when that went away, but I can actually understand why it did, and it's because of the internet. It's really just because GameFAQs is now a really top, you know, it's a highly read site now, and you know, it's like, I don't know what to do in this game. You know, you go to GameFAQs, some 50 people have already written like extensive guides to what to do. They know where all the secret rooms are. They're going to tell you where they are. They're going to have a dedicated secret room guide, probably, or whatever kind of guide. They're going to have an Easter egg guide. They're going to have, you know, this and that. But that's the reason, though, why we don't get so much of that anymore, is because it's too easy. It's too easy to find. It's too many, you know, just not a challenge anymore. It's just like, it's so guaranteed that people will figure out where all that stuff is. Is there a way to get up here? Oh, here we go. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on, if you're wondering, like, oh, okay, I love all this. Oh, it's time to send the pet away again. I love all these secrets and stuff to find, but I never find a game that actually does that anymore. Well, that's exactly why. I love that cloven hoof set. Yeah, this game actually has sets, by the way, which did not seem to be something they were interested in Diablo, from what I can tell. I did not find a set in that game. So correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, correct me and tell me, because I would love to fire that game back up again and then find some sets, but I don't remember that being a part of the new game at all. Diablo 3, that is, not Diablo 2. Let's go with these wraps. They look pretty nice. Sorry, I am actually focusing on my stuff for once. Let's get a new shirt. That old one we had was terrible. I'm pretty sure I've gotten a lot of good stuff, and I've accidentally sold a lot of it. Oh, it's an identify. Well, this looks pretty good, but it requires level 17. I need like a little space in here. I need a little space in my inventory that I can say, don't sell this, you know. Just like miscolor it or something. Just some way of letting me know that I absolutely do not want to sell that crap. How many open sockets? Yeah, I have 2 open sockets. Sweet. Okay, so let's put that in there. Chance to reflect missiles at 50% weapon DPS. Yes, I am definitely using that. Oh, it looks like we got one more. Give me the electric armor. Sorry, I was getting a Skype message, so I'm going to turn that off for a moment. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, I need to send my pet off. Fly away! 1 minute and 40 seconds, that's not... I mean, that's just nothing. That'll go away so fast. Oh wow, this is a lot of loot here. Or urns, I guess. This skeletal pyromancer. I love names in these games, they're so random. Okay, so was that just a huge detour? It kind of looks like it. Yep, that was a huge detour that I did not need to go down. But I did anyway, because I do it for the loots. Always do it for the loots. This is a pretty terrific game so far, guys. I really have to say. Oh, I need my compass up here. There we go. Shotgun is starting to get a little worn in, I think. Not really doing it for me anymore. That is how fickle I am about any of my loot in any of these types of games. If I have used it for more than 30 minutes, it is time to move on. I think it's more like it's so expected to 1,000 gold. So expected to find something good like all the time that it gets boring not to switch your weapons up after you know, every 20 minutes or whatever it ends up being. I know it's not quite that often. I'd like to finish this dungeon. I think the problem I'm having right now is I'm not going anywhere near the objective. I'm just kind of exploring this dungeon, which is pretty typical of how I play these types of games. There might not actually have been any sort of mission marker on this one that I'm aware of. Yeah, it doesn't tell me like where to go right now. You know, when I first played this earlier today, I noticed I was leveling ridiculously fast, and now it seems to have slowed down considerably, even though I'm still fighting comparable level enemies. Really should not slow down that much if you're only fighting something that's like one level below you. In fact, that's the typically what people like, is to play. Oh crap! That's one of those. I don't know if you guys have seen these things before, but sometimes the chests are they're actually monsters, and they grow teeth and will try and kill you. And I always thought that was very interesting, but it's definitely a little frightening to expect to get loot and then basically just start getting bit in the face. Ow. That's what's happening to me right now. Getting a lot of achievements. I don't really know what they are. I'm taking the time to figure out what they are or anything, but you know, I was discussing this the other day with Misa that this appears to be a boss. Appears to be. But anyway, I think, what was I talking about a moment ago? Oh gosh, can't believe I forgot this already. It'll come back to me, hold on. No. Maybe it won't come back to me. Yeah, I cannot seem to remember what it was I was talking about just a moment ago. It's pretty terrible. That's alright, I got distracted by the fact that we're on this boss now. Not to say it's like a difficult boss, or that I need to be really attentive to survive this. I mean, I've got 31 potions. I can keep drinking these down all day long. It helps to be a ranged character in a lot of situations. And that got me about 300 fame, that's good. I can't see what that purple is, but I believe the purple is a quest item. And 1 green, which is not anything to write home about. Yeah, I can already tell, actually. But that wasn't that special. I'm already getting to the point where I just, you know, it's not even that late in the game and I'm already just clicking through all the commons because they're not that interesting. They never are. Alright, well this one might be a little better. Although it's slow attack speed compared to the 1 second attack speed of the shotgun, which is a little surprising. So if it wasn't for that, I would probably check it out and try it, but that slow attack speed is definitely going to keep me away from it. Oh, we got some more stuff though. Bit of gold. I think I actually played through all of this last night, but this is all my new character. So we get to talk about the, you know, this guy, I guess, which I haven't been. This character, I definitely gravitate towards characters that are, you know, a little, I guess they're a little more geared towards my playstyle. I like ranged weapons for the most part. Here we go, now I can do this. Okay, so it requires level 14, level 28 strength, which I know I don't have, not even close to that. I haven't figured out what I should be leveling up other than dexterity, so I've been kind of just sinking all my points into dexterity. It's probably a good idea to put some into strength and focus, but I'm not really sure what the consensus is on that yet, so I'm just going to keep putting it all into dexterity. For the moment, I'll look into it at a later point. Level 14 is kind of a lame requirement. I don't, you know, this is level 11. Not only is it a level 11, but this is a level 11 weapon, and they're saying it requires level 14. I mean, obviously the expectation is that I keep sinking points into certain skills here, but, you know, I don't know. It just kind of bugs me, though. It's like I got a level 11 weapon, it's relevant to me, really wanted a bow. Does a good, you know, fairly decent amount of damage from what I can tell, and it's like, no, you gotta be level 14. It's not gonna make any sense at level 14. So why would I use it then?
Have I got
Whatever.
a deal for you?
Oh, I don't want to get that because that requires level 16. The beast cinch, I mean, I could use that. Yeah, let's just get the beast cinch because the other ones are way outside of my level range. And this, I believe we can use. Is it there, or I think it actually goes here. Yeah, and that one's not very good anymore. Oh, that's pretty good. Go with those boots. I'll keep these ones for a moment because they look pretty good. Definitely keep those. Yeah, I don't want that. Kind of want this, and I really want to use this bow, but I don't. I just almost don't see the reason at all. I mean, a bow that looks like it does a lot of damage in the near future here, and it fires really fast, by the way. It's 0.8 seconds between each fire, and plus 18% attack speed. I mean, that sounds really good, but this whole requires level 14 business is kind of keeping me away from it. Just because I don't know if, you know, if I sink a bunch of points into strength 28, I don't know if that's going to be something I need later on, and if people are just going to call me out on my noobishness for not looking into it in the first place. Looks like I should be able to go up here. Just going to try and get to the next area. Such mindless fun. These games are just a lot of fun. If anybody thought this game was kind of a kiddie game, like a kiddie Diablo, you need to take a look at some of the blood that's been spilling out on the floor every time I kill somebody. I mean, sometimes it is gruesome. I've noticed these guys, especially on shotguns, like look at this right here, just gibs everywhere. I've noticed people with shotguns, they tend to get blown into little bits when I do land a good shot on them. I wouldn't be surprised if that was something to do with getting critted. But I do love the rapid fire shotgun, which looks so crazy. I had a longbow at one point when I was first playing this. This character, and it was just funny to watch him rapid fire that bow because it was like, and he's just drawing it back like so fast. Now, this is almost like an AoE, not really, I guess, but there's like almost some AoE type damage on this thing now. That makes it kind of interesting. Sometimes I realize that my dog is really just completely tanking it. Does not care. He will take any amount of damage. I stopped worrying about him because he's way more of a badass than I am. Oh my gosh, that guy just exploded for no reason. We're almost there, we're almost at the checkpoint. Maybe not. Not if we have to do a Yui. We're entering a lot of various areas. Alright, and I've made it to the temple. I feel like that's a good place to stop, guys. Sorry if that seems cut a little bit short. It's not really, I guess, but I felt like we had a good daily play on that. You know, if you are interested, if you do like watching these, and I know we don't have a really big audience on it yet, but if there's a specific game you'd like for me to check out, I would be interested in finding out what that is, and I can take a better look at it, because eventually what I wanted this to lead into, even though I want to keep doing the daily plays, is some form where I actually can take more of an in-depth look at a particular game and maybe give you a little you know, I'm even interested in doing guides again, but giving you a little bit of a flavor of like what the game is and maybe why you should play it and why you should like it, or maybe why you should be interested in it, just because of its importance or something like that. I would be interested in doing those videos, but I would like to know what games it is you guys are interested in, and then we can kind of go from there. Might have to get the ball rolling with something like this, like Torchlight II. But or FTL is another one. But yeah, I'd be interested in getting that and as well as other things up. Thanks very much for watching, guys. As always, check out our channel on YouTube, on the YouTubes, and check out our website, of course, on fullnovazero.com. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and you have a good one.